Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hello and welcome once again to another quick shot review for Cheap Shot Entertainment. I am the host, your host, the Reverend Luke Edwards, and we're going to take you through a film called Vacancy. Now, I'd never heard of this film before, but apparently there's 4 of them at different times in their lives. This was the 2007 version. We also had one in 2017 and one in 2018. I'm not sure if they're a remake or a rehash or just happens to be a different film called Vacancy. I'm not sure. But this one actually had some quite established actors and actresses in it. Actually, it didn't have a big cast. It didn't have a big set. It was all set in one motel sort of blocky type area, so very reminiscent of Psycho, and it borrows very heavily from the Psycho franchise. It does star Luke Wilson as David and Kate Beckinsale as Amy, and they're the Foxes collectively, and they are a married couple. Now they're travelling cross country to sign some papers. Now this is never really fully explained as to what kind of papers they are signing, but you know, everyone has their own idea of what papers they could be signing. I immediately went for divorce. They were argumentative, they weren't getting along. You wouldn't have thought they were man and wife. You wouldn't have thought they were married or even related. But there's some things during the course of the film that does make it clear that they're not getting on, and it is because of the death of their son, and that's sort of driving them apart rather than sort of bringing them together. I don't know the circumstances behind that either, whether I just didn't pick that up or whether it wasn't fully explained. And there's usually a circumstance that sets those parts of the story up, but you know, they give very competent performances as the 2 main actors. And Frank Whaley plays Mason, the sleazy hotel motel owner, a la Norman Bates. Although Norman Bates was never really sleazy, he was more charming but creepy in the way he did the things. You know, Anthony Perkins, Psycho. But yes, 2007 we saw this film come out. It got a 6.2 rating for a horror film / slasher film. That is pretty decent. 6.2 on IMDb. You know, people don't necessarily think that slasher films or horror films are good fodder for filmmaking. But you know, some of the highest rated films on IMDb, The Exorcist, Alien, are horror slasher films. Exorcist isn't a slasher film, but it's definitely a horror film, supernatural horror. This one was directed by Nimrod Antal and written by Mark L. Smith. And basically, like I say, they're a couple. They're going across country to sign some papers. Their car breaks down. They get it fixed. It breaks down again. They end up in a motel owned by the sleazy motel owner named Frank. They decide then to stay at this said sleazy hotel and find out that there's cameras hidden in their room. And as they play some VHS tapes, hello, ring, anybody, and they play the VHS tapes and they find out that people have been murdered in the room, and they slowly come to the realisation that is the room that they're staying in. And these snuff tapes that were provided by the motel owner. Like I say, it does come to fruition that the motel owner lures these people in so they can be killed. There's a group of people, so it's a bit like a home invasion thing as well. It borrows very heavily from lots of different ideas and brings them all together very, very well. I really enjoyed this one. Sleeper hit for me was Vacancy. Like I say, Luke Wilson and Kate Beckinsale do a really good job of selling how scared they are, how far they're driven apart and then pulled back together by the events during this film. And yeah, everyone plays their part. Some of them are silent parts. They've got masks and they come in with chainsaws and hammers and things like that. I mean, like I say, there's a lot of things borrowed from a lot of films. The car breaking down, going to the gas station, Texas Chainsaw. Even a bit where they go down into a trapdoor and someone's trying to get out of the trapdoor, and it reminded me a lot of Evil Dead. And yeah, I mean, it does bring all these things together. It's a bit of a love letter to horror slasher movies as well, and it does it really, really well. I'd say go and find a copy of this. I think it may be on Amazon Prime, not a paid advertisement. I have to say that every time I mention a streaming service. Try and find it on there. It is pretty damn good. If you've seen it, let us know what you thought of it. If you're going to watch it, after you've seen it, let us know what you think of it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? Did you disagree with my thoughts on this? Because there's a load of no-name actors and actresses in this film. They don't speak. They don't really do anything apart from chase Luke Wilson and Kate Beckinsale around. And the one thing that I found out about this movie, in a situation whereby you're in a lockdown and people are trying to get into your house, trying to kill you, don't get locked down with Kate Beckinsale. Obviously there's a lot of reasons to get locked down with Kate Beckinsale, but one of the main reasons not to is that she can't keep quiet if you hide her an event to stop her from getting killed. She whined like a puppy trying to hide a treat. She's in this vent. She could just stay quiet. The guys can't find her, and she wails, and she goes, "Why? Why?" So yeah, I mean, but obviously you can pretty much guess what happens. Yeah, there's not much more I can say about this film really. I thought it was really good. And definitely a sleeper hit on this one. Definitely up there with the lower end of the films that I've seen. A lot of the higher end films I've actually seen in the cinema. But with the cinemas out of commission at the moment, we can't go and see new films. So I'm having to sort of dig through and find things to watch. Incidentally, we are looking at doing a podcast on these films, the films that I watched with my boy Mike over lockdown. We've been really enjoying it. We've been doing it through the internet, been calling each other and watching the film. So it's like we're sort of sat next to each other, and it's been really good. It's been really fun. So if you've got mates that you usually watch films with, get on a party app, a social thing, and do it that way. Watch the film, stream to each other, whatever. Do it however you feel. You both got the same film on DVD, Blu-ray, put it in at the same time, press play at the same time, and you can watch it together. That's Cheap Shot Entertainment's top tips for quick shot reviews. And this one's been Vacancy. I'm going to give this Bates Motel out of a hostel because it has elements of everything there. You're staying in this place and then you mark to get killed. And yeah, it was really good. I can't say that enough. It was absolutely really, it was good. Definitely a watchable horror film that I've never heard of. So there you go. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Hiya.